Right, in this video, I'm going to be creating an audit sidekick for my team. I'm going to be building an internal audit tool. I built this before in V0, but I want to rebuild it in Bolt after about a month of learning now what I know with low code types and actually making them to an actual shippable product. So I'm going to be using Bolt to do that. I just like the interface with Bolt, and then also I'm getting more comfortable using Bolt, integrating it with Supabase and ChatGPT and so on. So we'll go ahead and do that. So the first step that I do is to define the PRD, the project requirements document, the build document. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking to Claude to do that. Hey, Claude. So I'm building this internal tool for our internal audit team. Basically, the vision is to create an audit copilot designed for non-technical auditors to be able to do technical audit or information security audit, to be specific, using the Center for Internet Security Controls. Now, we want to make sure that we use the current version of the controls. I think it's version 8.1 is the current version. And the idea is that it will be like a chat bot where an auditor will say, hey, I want to do an audit of privileged access management for AWS, and as an example. And the tool will take that natural language and process that into like a chat GPT. And from there, it will decide, based on the complexity and things like that, which particular controls will be in scope. I think for simplicity purposes, I think, focusing on the implementation group one. But anyway, this is just an idea, and I want to come up with like a tech stack or like a build plan to do this PRD. And the primary tool that we want to use is Bolt. Maybe this is something we can put in the hackathon, but yeah, it's going to be an internal tool. Let's go ahead and get your thoughts. All right, so I went ahead and prompted Bolt. I like the being able to talk because it's just easier, and just kind of babbling about it. It's just, it's just easier for me to do that and make edits. So right now it's 3:34. My hard stop today is at 4:30. So we're gonna see the best that we, what we can do in about an hour to do this. But yeah, but again, like, we want to create the build plan, and then we can do as much as we can, and then go back to it and so on. So just a little bit of background about me. I've been doing audit for 15 plus years. My expertise has been on information security. So this is something that I would do, that I would, someone from my team or in our global team needs some assistance with type of audit, and they don't know what to start. They usually come to me, and I would do the scoping. Like I said, I focus more on IG1, implementation group 1, because that covers 80+% of the known cybersecurity threats. So it covers a lot of the risk. So I say that because I have an idea of like what the tool should spit out, and I can QA that myself. Let's see. So it's saying that it's an internal audit infosec copilot for non-technical auditors. Using Bolt, hackathon ready. Okay, so it's giving the problem statement. Internal auditors without deep technical expertise need to conduct information security audits, which struggle with, so and so on. So I'm just skimming through this. So it's going to be an AI-powered audit copilot, process natural language. Yep. Master requests, and then generates customized audit checklists with specific actionable items. All right. Going to be natural inputs, processing, right? Database. So it looks like we need a database. Not sure if that's something. Let's see. Hey, Claude, I see that you're saying that there's a database of CIS. Is that something that we need to build, or can we use AI like ChatGPT or Claude or even Gemini to actually get this? That way, it's making sure that we have the latest update. Your thoughts on that? Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, right? Being able to use LLM to do this so that it's always up to date. Because if it's a database, something that we have to maintain, but I want to build something that is evolving, right? But to give that flexibility. So It's saying, it's saying here's are the pros cons, and then these are the cons that it will be API dependent, it will require internet. And I think that's not a problem. And also API availability cost could add up. But this is not something that we're going to be using like every day. So I think the benefits definitely outweigh the cost. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. So instead of building database, use AI. Okay. You're an expert. So pure AI. So recommendation for hackathon. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's go database components. Okay. All right. So skip the database entirely and use AI. Yeah. Yep. Hey, I agree. Let's go ahead and let's go with the AI database. I think I really like the flexibility of being able for it to update. And again, I looked at your pros and cons. I feel like the pros definitely outweigh the cons. So let's go ahead and move it that way. It looks like in terms of, cons, it's really focusing on like availability of the tool. And, now we're in a day and age where the tools, the internet connection is pretty highly available. So let's go ahead. All right, so it's building a build plan, all right, or PRD, right? So I'll just go ahead and wait. All right. So I have another model that I use in Claude. This is something that I designed because again, like I try to do like an 8-hour sprint to, create the MVP. So we want to make it like really not basic, but then something that's palatable, something that works with my schedule because I do have a full-time job. We have 3 small kids and it's a busy time. So this is not my full-time gig right now, but we don't want that as an excuse, not having time. So what system works for you in this season of your life, right? So for me, I think like 8 hours, for a whole week to work on this, that's pretty reasonable. I could do 1 to 2 hours during the day. So that gives me 10 hours. And then, on the weekends, I would probably do, 2 to 4 hours depending on availability. But yeah, so now that we have this like build plan, so let me just kind of skim through over this. So it's saying that these are this one. So just again, high level. Yep. All right. So we'll go ahead and process this. So using NIST cybersecurity, advanced, okay, what is this one? Advanced features. Oh, NIST cybersecurity. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're not going to do that right now. Evidence management, that's something we can add later on. So saying MVP 2 to 3 days. And actually, this is good because this is like a plan, right? That Claude is saying, but I think we can do this in in a shorter period of time. Okay, so from here, we work step 1 or step 0. We did a collaboration with Claude. Took us about 10 minutes to do it. And we have like a draft of our possible build plan for our MVP, the tool that we're trying to build. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and start building this. So again, we're about 15 minutes in. So we'll go ahead and build this. Okay. All right. And then, okay, another thing too, like what I like is that, oh yeah, it gives us the prompt already, so pretty cool. And it gives us like the outline on what to do. So the first 4 hours is to build the core chat interface with AI integration, and then we'll do the audit logic, checklist generation, so on and so on. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. Key question for your teams. All right, thank you. So so what I like about this is that now, like, I have all these projects that I'm working on or that I wanted to work on, and then I can, they're in separate chats, right? So I can go back. So this one right here, I'm gonna go ahead and actually make a copy of this and put it in my Notion. Do I have my Notion here? Looks like I don't have oh, I do have my Notion here. All right, cool. Put it in my Notion. So this is a left areas, so finances, and then current project. So it's gonna be the DX solution for internal audit. All right. So let's go ahead. All right, Flood, let's go ahead and build the prompt for Bolt. Let's go ahead and start prompting and start building this tool. Let's go ahead with the first step as you recommend. Thank you. So it says right here, Bolt. I noticed that, like before I started doing the using my voice to prompt or to write, that's always kind of, oh, they don't understand me because of my accent, things like that. But I think from my experience, like it says both, it's actually it knows that I'm saying Bolt. So let's go see what it produces. So here you go. See, it knew I was talking about Bolt. All right. So Bolt prompt. Oh shoot, that's pretty complicated. All right, let's see. All right. So let me just. The thing also with this is that there's a best practice. Let me see. Bolt best practice. Oh man, I forgot where I saw that. Let's see. Prompt effectively Bolt prompting tips. Okay, there you go. So one thing also that I want to challenge Claude, can you please look at this link that I'm sending you and just make sure that the prompt that we have complies with best practice for Bolt, and please make the necessary adjustment. Thank you. So the whole thing about Bolt and things like this, they do have like guidelines on best practices. So I'm feeding that to AI, like this one, I'm feeding it to Claude and saying, hey, please use this guideline when you're, making these prompts. That way, I think like it's just, it just makes it more optimized, more effective that way. All right, so it's reading it now. I wasn't able to access. All right, so I wasn't able to access it, unfortunately. That happens. Another thing too, if we can't do that, I would just use like I use Gemini also. This is another project I'm working on. I'm gonna say, hi Gemini, can you access this thing? Okay. So let's see if Gemini can access it. Let's see. So I'm gonna go back to here. Actually, I'm gonna go to version 1 and I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, it looks like you can access. Oh no, that's not Gemini. Oh, it is Gemini. Is it? No, that's the version. Okay, that's great. Can you please take a look at my current BRD and see if it complies with that? Yes, please. Please make any updates to make it alignment. Let's expect. Okay, there you go. All right, so as you can see here, I'm using Gemini, right? So unfortunately, Claude was not able to access it, and saying Gemini says, "Yep, I can access it." So now I'm pasting the PRD that was created from Claude into Gemini. Oh yeah, so I use ChatGPT most of the time, but for for development and creating PRD and things like that, I just like Claude better. I like its interface, just cleaner, easier to access stuff. Yeah, I think like ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. I use it for everything else, but for like development and technical stuff, I tend to lean more on Claude, and I just started using Gemini. So it's saying that it's quite impressive, structured. Okay, assessment. Okay, here, clear outline core features. Okay, so it looks like so it's doing an audit, right? So this is really cool because now you're using AI to audit each other, So you can refer to the full guide. Okay, by incorporating this bias, can you? Okay, oh, thanks, Gemini. Can you please give me an updated version of my PRD so I can save it? I'm just saying, hey, just get me. All right. All right. Um, okay. All right. Thank you. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this, and I'm gonna say, hey Claude, I had another expert review the PRD, and this is the version they gave. Let's go ahead and use this version moving forward. So now I'm putting it back to Claude, right? Because so Claude is my central hub for my my documentation, my prompting, and things like that. And Gemini, even ChatGPT, that's something that I'm going to be using as a co-pilot for building. All right, so now we're back to okay. So this was the first one. I don't think we need this anymore. This was just the rough draft. So I'm going to go ahead and close this because we don't really need this anymore. So now this is our plan, our build plan. Okay, so it says external updated the Bolt. So now, as you can see, now as a version 3, that's what we're using. Perfect. Thank you. All right, thank you, Claude. Go ahead and give me the prompt for Bolt. so we can start with this project. And thank you so much for your help. All right. Oh, shoot. You know what? I messed up. It wasn't the PRD that we are updating. It was the prompt. Shoot. Anyway, happens, right? The good thing is like there's version control, right? So I'm just gonna say, hey, use this. All right. So here's a prompt. All right. So we'll go ahead and copy this. So that was that was a brain fart there. All right. So we'll go ahead. We'll just call it Audit Copilot. Is that the name? Yeah. All right. Focus on. It's just kind of sorry about that. Gosh. All right. Okay. Actually, it's right here. So it's saying, all right. Oh, I like this one. Shows system shows typing indicator then response to clarify. I really like that. The first one we didn't have anything like that. Oh, this is sample user flow. Okay, this is sample user flow. Okay. Right. So what are we doing here? No real API yet. Okay, so no real API yet. Okay, so we're just gonna build this and then we'll connect the API. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And then I'm gonna prompt. Okay, I'm gonna say, hey Claude, you know what? I messed up. I thought I was giving you the updated PRD, but that was just a prompt from Bolt. Can you revert back to our original PRD just to make sure that we have the right build plan that we're working on? Sorry about that. All right, so right now it's doing all these. So it took our command and now it's making some edits, right? So it's saying there's no real API yet. So hopefully we have about 25 to 30 minutes left before I close for the day. Hopefully we can build that. All right. Cool. All right. So again, also another thing with AI, just just be respectful to it and just be respectful. That's all. That's something I tell my son. But yeah, anyway, don't want to debate about it or anything like that. Just be respectful. That's all. All right. So it went back to the place into type building. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So are we? This is the. Okay. This is the. Okay. So this is our. Nope. Okay. This is our PRD, right? Yeah. No, this is the MVP. Wait a minute. Where are we? All right. So here we. Oh, I'm confused. All right. Where are we? Okay. Oh, okay. This is the MVP. No, this is not. What's going on? It's okay. Where is the PRD? All right. So the PRD. Okay. This is the phase one, right? Okay. Where is the PRD? Okay. Where's our PRD? All right. Where's our? All right. Let me just upload it again. So that's why again we usually doesn't go away, but for some reason it went away. Hey Claude, I just uploaded the PRD again. For some reason I'm not seeing it on the artifacts. Yeah, like I'm looking at version. Oh, it's not even letting me look at it. Sorry about that. All right, look at that. Ooh. So it already created the GUI right here. So I'm gonna open it up here. So in about like what was that, like 5 minutes or so, it created the GUI already. So again, there's nothing here yet. So welcome to Audit Copilot. I can help you create audit checklists based on CIS. Try asking me something like, I need to audit. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Hey, I need to. So let's just do that. I'm just gonna copy this just for testing purposes to see where we're at. So let's do that. All right. I'll create an audit plan. Oh, look at that. So it created an audit plan based on data protection. So it's talking about asset inventory, you know, maintain secure configuration process, the access control. You know what? Like just looking at this, it looks pretty reasonable already. And it has the option to export to PDF to Excel, even has documentation and sign in, so there's some authentication. So far it looks really good. All right, so I've created a copilot, clean and split screen. So it's actually cleaner than the one that we have. I don't have it here because it's on a different profile, but this is looking really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna copy this and send it to Claude and just say, hey, this is what we have. I'm gonna say great job. All right. So what is this? Oh no, what's going on? Not I'm fine. Wait a minute. Let's look at version one. Okay, so this is the one that we want, right? Okay, so this is the one that we want. This is gonna be, I'm gonna say, let's use this one because I did mess up. This is the actual version one is the plan. Now it actually removed it because like it was giving us like the hour by hour. All right, let's see. Hey Claude. Hey Claude, based on the PRD I updated to you, can you create the build plan? It's weird. Yeah, this one is looking really good. Yeah. There you go. This is something that I was looking for. Yeah. This is one I was actually looking for. Probably created and basically show interface into the message system. Okay. Oh man. Let's see. Where are we? You know what? We can just go back to the chat. It wasn't that long. Yeah, see, it had something like this, and then it went away, unfortunately. Yeah. This was something I was looking for. Oh, it actually gave me the prompt. Oh, you know what? Usually I would ask to convert this into a PRD. Yeah. So it gave me this prompt. Oh, I think it was in the other one where we said that it was not gonna be using the. Let me go back to this. I just want to make sure. So if I go back to this one, yeah. Okay. So it was the other one. So I was getting myself confused. Okay. So I think we're okay. So let's go back to. Okay. Thank you. Oh, look at that. All right. All right. So I'm gonna say, hey, great job with the first prompt. It's looking really good already. Let's go ahead and move on to the next phase. And again, like, the layout here, the color scheme and all that, we can customize that. But right now, we're just gonna get the functionality working and we'll build the UI. We'll fix the UI later. Okay. All right. So expanded. This is our foundation. Enhanced icon with advanced audit intelligence expanded. Okay. So, okay. Let's see. Can you look at our build plan again? Is this something that we want to do now? I think, should we want to create the integration with like ChatGPT or the LLM? I miss my gym. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Right. So now we're gonna add the integration with ChatGPT. Let's see, add real. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna read the prompt because this is very important to make sure that we're prompting ChatGPT the right way. So this is something I didn't have, I think, in my old one. So we're training ChatGPT to do this. You're an expert on user requests. Asked to look up specific audit requirements. This is good. All right, for us from the professional documentation. So right now we're just focusing on IG1, and then this is something that we can definitely enhance later on. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this to Bolt. All right. So let's do that. That's our next step. once we get the, integration to ChatGPT, we should be pretty good to go. So we're about 30 minutes into this. So we started with just brainstorming with Claude, and then we created the PRD, and then now we're actually building the tool. So, as you saw in the preview, it's pretty good already. The user interface, the flow looks pretty good. It has options to download documents and things like that. So now it's saying to use the application, create an env file with your open API key. All right. So I know how to do this because I've been doing this for a while now, but I'm just gonna say, hey, I don't know how to do it. Can you guide me? So I'm just gonna say, hey, Bolt, I don't know how to do that. Can you actually guide me to do it, or is that something I can prompt you to create for me? So I'm telling Bolt, like, I don't know how to create the env file, so now it's actually gonna help me do that. Yeah, because my son was actually doing a project in Bolt over the weekend. That's why I know how to do this for Bolt. I've done it for Replit for the other version. Was it Replit? Oh, V0 for the other version of this tool. But I've done it with Bolt over the weekend. And now I'm going to ask it to, hey, do this for me. Okay, so to use your API, replace in the env file. Okay, so I created so my concern here is that going to be hard coded? Hey Bolt, if I put the API key in the env, is that going to be hard coded because of security purposes? That's something I'm concerned about. So again, you don't want to hard code like passwords to your code. Again, because I work in security, I've done some development work. It's just something that I know. So let's see what Bolt says about it. Okay, so no one can inspect instead. So now it's gonna secure a back end service using Supabase, right? So again, it's just with with no code, with vibe coding, it makes things very easy for us. But there are some things like what I tell my son that you just need to know from experience. You need to know from actually going through some training. So this is just something that I learned, right? So here it says now key will be secure stored. So click connect to Supabase into the top right. So we're gonna integrate this with Supabase. Then we're gonna say create new project. We're gonna say project name is gonna be Audit Digital Transformation. Actually, I'm gonna name it as, what is the name of this one? Audit Copilot. Do we have a name for this? Audit. We'll call it Audit Copilot. So Audit Copilot, and we need a password for the database. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. All right, so I'm gonna figure out how to connect to Supabase. So I thought let's see, I did that. Add a Supabase. So I'm here. Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna say authorize Bolt. So it's actually connecting it now. So it's saying it's successfully connected. All right, so I'm gonna just keep this open. So we have about 15 minutes left, and then let's see what's going on. All right, so select a project. It says no objects found. So I guess let's create a new project, and we'll call it Audit Copilot. And then yeah, we'll need a password. So oops. So let me go ahead and pause this. Okay, so let's see if it actually created a database project. So it looks like it's not integrated. I'm on the free account. I wonder if we need to pay for this one. And there's only one usage integration. So let's try it again. So I'm not sure if I'm actually in. So it's still saying add database. There's no project. We'll call it Audit Copilot. Password. Okay, so the first database on your paid clump at no cost. Launching. Oh, okay. So additional fees may apply. Okay, so it's doing this. I said, let's go. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. So this is a good example where if we have something like this, so it's not showing up here. The database is not showing up here. I don't know why. All right, so yeah, there's no project here. Manage, install, deployments. This is before. So I think because I already probably supported, I already don't have the plan anymore. So yeah, so it looks like that's probably why it's working. So I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna try it again. So I'm not really sure what's happening, and I'm just gonna ask Bolt what's going on. So, or I'm gonna ask Claude. So I'm gonna do it again, integration, and then add Supabase. I'm gonna just collect the screenshots, create a new project, and I'm gonna say audit copilot, put the password in, and then again take a screenshot, and then create a new project. It looks like we're over the free limit, so oh shoot, yeah. So I wonder if I just upgrade. I'm just gonna go ahead and upgrade it. So let me pause this. Okay, so I'm having issue, like I said. So it looks like project the free plan only allowed 2 active projects. If you already created 2 projects, even when it's paused. Okay, so you won't be able to create more until one is deleted. So let's go ahead and do that because I'm actually not using. So I'm gonna go to manage, and then I'm gonna go to where did I see that? I think usage. No, let's go to overview. So there's this one, West Coast Fremont. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one. Oh, I know what I was doing. I think I was doing something for our school. But let me see. Let me go back to this one. So this is the chatbot. Connect to repository. Let's see. Okay, so I've never deleted the database before. So I think we go to storage. Nope. Okay. Oh, this is Vercel actually. So we want to go Supabase. I'm sorry. All right, so we go to usage, I think, or projects, and we go to manage here. So here we go to usage. Let's see, where do I see that? Deployments, I think. There you go, deployment. So this is the one where we need to delete one. So let's see. This is 18. So which one's the most current one? So this looks like the latest one. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one. Can I delete this one? Oh, this is the MVP I did. So this is just an example. As you can see, it's just like it's just I think I like Bolt, the UI for Bolt, but this is pretty good too. It has the test procedures. So I should take a picture of this. So that's something we can probably use, give an example to, Bolt later on. All right, so we have about 10 minutes left. Let's see if we can fix this. All right, so if you need Supabase, yeah, we need Supabase. We're trying to delete one that we don't need. So we're trying to delete one. Okay, so you know what? Let's ask Gemini. How do I delete it? Okay, how do I delete the 2 active projects or at least one of them? So asking Gemini for instructions because that's the issue here. So we go to Supabase, navigate to your projects on the main dashboard, select project to delete. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Supabase, and then it says go to projects. So I'm not seeing any projects here. Okay, so let's take a screenshot and say, hey, I'm not seeing any projects. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. By the way, this is the first time I've used Gemini to debug. Usually I would use ChatGPT. Not here. So again, with debugging with AI, you wanna show, not just tell. Am I on the correct Supabase dashboard? I think so. Okay, screenshot. Create new project. Maybe because it's in Vercel and not in the So it looks like, okay, so it looks like it's because it's in this one. Okay, so I think that's probably why. Let's see. Right, so I think the reason is it's actually the deployment here. So I would say copy activity domains usage. Yeah, I'm not really seeing it here. Integrations, manage, overview. So I'm overview here. So I think it's probably because this one right here. I wonder if we can actually delete this one. Project ID. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one because I'm actually not. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Say delete my project. delete this one. Yeah, that's fine. And also this one too. So I'm gonna go, just wanna make sure we're not, this was just when I was first starting to learn that. All right, so now we just have one project. So I'm gonna try it again. Hopefully it works. All right, we have 5 minutes left. Let's see if this works. Project, audit, copilot. Let's put our password. Create project. I'm gonna take a screenshot. All right. Okay, it looks like the first database was free. So it's not the project. It looks like it's because we have a database already. So that's why it's not letting us do it. All right, so let me upgrade to the paid plan and then let's try to do this again. All right, so we tried connecting to Supabase, but we got an error. So I'm just gonna pass it to Gemini. I got this error in Bolt.new. You please help. So I'm just gonna ask Bolt, or sorry, Gemini to take care of it. See what they can, because it's pretty weird. It's not working because there's no project right now. And now we upgraded to Pro, right? So, oh, it looks like there's a technical issue with Supabase right now. Dang it. So this is one of the risks that they mentioned earlier in the PRD. It says resolved though, so not sure what's going on. It says all systems are operational, so it should be okay. All right, so let's say no projects. It's managed by Bristle Marketplace. Any system from this are meant to be created. Okay, not directly from. That's why you're not seeing Pi. They're not intended. Okay, this could not, because it's trying to create a new project, likely. Okay, so it looks like it's not doing that. Let's see. Well, virtual integration is the primary cost. This manager suggests that there might be an underlying issue to this. So it looks like something about virtual management. So let's see. Create a new independent Supabase organization. Okay, so we need to go to Supabase dashboard. Okay, and we're gonna make, what is it saying? It's saying to switch organization, just to be found by clicking on the current organization, and then we're gonna make a new organization. So let's go here, and we're gonna do new organization. Okay, so we're just gonna say, shoot, that one was the paid one, so I need to. So I'm just gonna just call this internal audit send. Okay. So this is for, and I'm gonna put it in the free plan right now. We're gonna try to connect to this one. So let's see. So integration with Supabase. We don't want that. So what's happening here? Okay. So let's just type a database password. So the project's name is, we're gonna call this yeah. I'm gonna call it Audit Copilot. That's the name of our project. And then our, okay. And then our password is, I'm gonna pause this. All right, so we created a new project here, and then share if you plan on the new org, try connecting to both again. Okay, browse again, sure it's trying to connect to the. All right, so can we, I'm gonna say, maybe try to connect to a different Supabase. All right, that's my timer. All right, let's do this real quickly. And then once you second your Supabase, okay. So we'll do that. This actually now use the new Supabase connection. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to create a new Supabase. Hopefully, so it's not. We don't want this one because it's still connecting to the old one. I'm not sure how to. Maybe we need to go to update. Maybe we need to go to this file, and so I'm gonna tell hey, hi Gemini. When I click integrate to Supabase, it's still selecting the old organization or project. I'm not sure how to reset it so that it'll give me the option to select a new one. Yep. Clear browser data. Okay. So it looks like we want to clear the cookie. Look for disconnect with Bolt.new. Okay. Many integration. Okay. So let's see if we can actually find that real quickly. So copilot, and then let's see if these are just adding it, but it doesn't show the. All right. So I'm gonna clear the cache. Maybe something here. Settings, tokens, appearance, applications. There you go. Disconnect. So I'm gonna disconnect here. All right. So now we're gonna try to connect it again. So I'm gonna go back to Bolt, or I'm gonna go back to our project. Project here. And then we're gonna try and do the new integration. Cool. So hopefully this works. Yes. So this is the one that I want. All right. Authorize. Yeah. For some reason, I'm not sure why it was doing that. So now it's saying that it connected successfully. So we want to create a new project, search for project, or no, it's this one. Yeah, that's the one that we want. And then connect to this project. So it looks like it's connecting now. And then we'll be able to hopefully add the API key for OpenAI. And then now when we're chatting with this, it's actually going to be using the OpenAI instead of it using the hard coded. Okay, so it's connecting, deploying, connect the database. Say, hey, what's the status? I'm not sure if it froze, so I'm just going to prompt it. Say, no, I'm sorry. What's the status about the integration with Supabase? So am I connected? So looks like okay. So there's a it looks like I'm connected to Supabase. Can you double check? So the discuss prompt here is actually not making any code changes. So you're not using your tokens. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, it's saying to set up the schema. Good. All right, now that we're connected to Supabase, I think what we're trying to do is connect this to ChatGPT or to OpenAI. And the concern that I had earlier was hard coding the API key. So that's the last step that we were on before we tried to connect to Supabase. So this will be our last feature to connect this to OpenAI, and then we'll go from there. And I think this was the one we're saying. All right, so go to settings API. No, it's not. So this is an example where it's like hallucinating because it's saying that the OpenAI key is securely stored in the Supabase. It's not there. So we need to find the edge function setting. So we need to go to Supabase, and when you go to the dashboard, so the database is here. There's no tables yet. So if we go to API, we go to integration. So this is where it gets really pretty crazy under API. And then we go to project versus API. So, oh, this is integration. Oh, project settings right here. And then it says go to API keys. Oh, what does that say? Project settings, you go to edge function settings. There's the edge function settings. Okay. And then here, add a new secret name, OpenAI key. Okay. Add a new secret name. So here, OpenAI key, and then we put the value here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to put my API key for OpenAI. Okay. So I just did this. So it's saying that securely stored and it's using the edge function to handle the communication with OpenAI and so on, right? So now it's in Supabase. So, all right. So I just did that you're able to access the OpenAI API key and connect with OpenAI. All right, so now we're just gonna test this. Okay, so now it's doing a test of the integration. So it looks like there's some issue. It looks like the edge function is accessible. It's properly configured, but it looks like there's some issue here. So I just want to see what's going on to see if I can understand it. Nope, cannot understand it. So I'm just gonna say attempt to fix. But as you can see, it's testing itself. It's chatting with a bot. And now it's going to try to fix it. So this will be our last feature that we want to work on for this hour. But just to summarize, we started with pretty much from nothing, right? We just started brainstorming with what the left alarm. We started brainstorming with Claude and just talking through what we're trying to do. And then from there, we created our build plan, our product requirement document, and then I ran it to another model that I have saying that I only have 8 hours to build this. We prompted Bolt to do something, and it created this nice GUI. And now we're doing an integration between Bolt and OpenAI. So okay, so what's going on here? So I'm gonna try to do it again. So it looks like you need to go to the dashboard. So we need to go to Edge Functions, and then we need to look for Audit Copilot. Oh, functions here. Okay, so here, over here, it's saying that we need to do something. So select the audit function, add the open environment variable with your valid OpenAI key. So let me pause it here. Actually, let's just do it together. So let's see where we need to put it. Not seeing where we can put the OpenAI key here. See the logs. So it's not working here. Code. Oh, it looks like we had to put it. Okay, so this is an example where I'm just gonna copy this because I don't know what it's asking. I'm gonna paste it to Gemini. So it's saying that. So I'm gonna go copy this and then copy. I'm gonna put it on Gemini. And then I'm going to say, I'm not sure where to put it here, So it looks like there's secrets here. So functions, copilot. And I'm just going to say, I don't know, maybe to connect. Oh, it looks like here. So again, yeah, so I don't know. I'm just going to give it to Gemini, Hey, hey, Gemini, I got this error from Bolt. It's talking about looking for this audit function in edge functions in Supabase and then putting an API key, but not really sure where to put that. Can you please guide me? Okay. Okay, secrets. So I have that already. So I have that. I have that. Oh, I have that already. Let's see. So it's saying to do the open A key, but we already have that. So let's go back to this. So it's saying open A key. Yeah, we already have that. We already have that. Oops. Hmm. It was created last use. Okay, so what did Gemini says? You're right. Oh, redeploy. Okay, let's try redeploy. Okay, so functions. Is there a way to redeploy? Okay, so location logs. Okay, so I'm looking at this index file. Okay, so I see this code. Okay, I see this code. Audit, what's this called? In audit copilot. We need to fix something here. Okay, maybe something in the code. I'm gonna see if Bolt can do this one more time. Okay, so maybe that's the okay. I, I think I know. Open API key. Okay, so let's go back to secrets. Open what? Open AI. So it's making sure that the variable matches. Okay, open AI API key. So it looks like it matches, but I don't know what's going on. Let's go to Bolt. So it's still the same problem. It says that the open key is not configured. Okay, let's go back to this. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. So that's that. And then I'm gonna go pause this again. All right, so I regenerated the open AI key just to see if it works. Okay, hopefully this fixes the problem. Yeah, it looks like it's same. Okay. Scaling zone is not configured in your Supabase function settings. It's over here. Mm, all right, so it's still not working. So I'm gonna see if there's a way for us to test. Is there a way for us to test that the edge function is working, doing it? Okay, so we're gonna see if we can test it from Supabase because it's saying that it's not calling it. Okay. Potential copilot, so let's see verify. Post request with JSON body. Okay. So let's try this one. We can use, so we put in the request body. Okay. And then for basic testing, we use service role. Where do we put that? Role? No, I'm not seeing role. Of course. Okay, oh there you go. Send. Okay, so it looks like I'm getting this. Okay, so this is good. We learned how to troubleshoot, but this is the error. This is the error. There we got. So it looks like something with the open AI key that it's not working. Good news is okay, so it's actually reading that. The new problem is now able to get your API new key, but when it tries to make a request, it's rejecting the request. Okay, what to do next? All right, so we need to go to OpenAI. Okay, check the key. Is it still active? Okay, so we gotta go to OpenAI. We gotta go to our keys and just make sure it's still active. It's still active. The permissions alt is what we have. This is what we have. I wonder if we ran out of usage, which I doubt. We don't spend a lot unless my son used it. No, we didn't even spend a lot. So let's see, let's go back to Gemini. So it's saying it's active. Okay, when you test the function Supabase, you're looking for a detailed message. So OpenAI error. So let's go to logs. Go to logs. And what is the error that we're getting? So it looks like, oh, okay. So it looks like this is the error we got. Okay, this is the error that we got. Let's see. This is the log error from Supabase. So it might be the format. Ah, okay. So it was the prompt. Okay. Oh, okay. That's it, huh? All right, let's do that. All right, so that might be it. So when we go to function, let's go to this. Let's go to, I think we go to code. So I think this part right here. So this is the important addition. Okay, so we need to update this part. We should. Okay. Okay. Deploy updates. So let's go ahead and go to details. I think let me test it again. I'll test right here. So let's test the request body. So, all right. So let's. Okay, thanks. All right, I think this should work now. Okay, test again. So put this in the request. Let's try it. Send request. This should work now, I think. Okay, it's processing. Looks like it's working. Yep, it works. It works. So, wow. So it works. So the issue wasn't the key. The issue was in the instruction that we're passing to ChatGPT. So as you can see right here, Bolt, it's right here you go. It's actually working now. It actually retested itself. So it requires a lot of, I think, with vibe coding, The tools make it easier for us. It takes us to about 80-90%, but still the 10%, it requires, I would say, experience. It requires being able to, look for a solution. So I don't think, a lot of people say that this will replace our jobs, but this is just an example where it shows a limitation in the tool, but it's a limitation in the tool. And but stop recording. Shoot. All right, I think it stopped recording, so I'm not sure you got that.